What would happen to your business if LinkedIn closed its doors tomorrow? Interesting question. It's amazing how much we rely on these third-party businesses, and it's good. These are all great. It's great to have things like LinkedIn. We've all, done really well and certainly made money by being on the platform. But we also leave ourselves a little bit vulnerable too. So how can you shore up your business so that it's less reliant and not being held ransom to other businesses such as LinkedIn? And we'll talk specifically about LinkedIn because it's a pretty good example. So when you post something on LinkedIn, you go out, you've got your connections, you go out to your market. They then decide who it goes to. You put the post up, they decide I'm going to send it here, but not here. No, that person hasn't been engaging much, you won't send it to them. So you have no control over that. It goes to whoever they want to send it to. Versus you've got people in your own community, in your own database. You send it when you want, how you want, as often as you like. You don't run any risk of being, well, you do run a risk of going to spam. I shouldn't say that. You've got to be careful, obviously, with that you're following the email rules. But your emails, et cetera, are more likely to connect with the people that you want, and you've got much more control over that communication. I don't know if you guys remember, but you used to be able to tag your contacts on LinkedIn. You could, it was the ones that you were first degree connections with, you could go in and you could tag them. I remember studiously going in, tagging all my connections, thinking this is great. Whereas really what I was doing was copying what I already had in my own database anyway. And then it wasn't that much longer that after that LinkedIn decided that they weren't going to let us do that anymore. So I'd wasted all that time. So I'd built a process in my business reliant on what they were doing. Reliant on a third party. So if I'd built that process in my business and I had control of it, then I wouldn't have been left high and dry with something that wasn't working anymore. So that's another reason that we don't want to be designing our businesses to fit in with what else is out there. Design the processes and structures that you build them for what you know that you can control. So you can control, obviously, your community, your database, as much as you like. What we don't want to do is build a house on rented land. LinkedIn's rented land, you own your home, your email. So we want everything to go to there. Most people I speak to, they've usually got, not always, but usually got more connections on LinkedIn than they have in their own database, which is kind of interesting. So what we want to do is start to build processes that bring those people that you're connected with that aren't already in your community across to you. I won't go into ways to do that today, but essentially we're talking about ways to get their email, their first name, their last name, their email. Once you've got that, they can go into your database and you can start to communicate with them for there. We can use magnets, we can use salary surveys. There's a whole lot of lead gen ways we can do that. So that's important. The other thing is we want to be able to go beyond, and I look at LinkedIn two ways. Yes, it's great for branding, but it's also a massive database as well. So when you look at it from the database side, all those people that you've got that you're searching on and that you're coming up with, we want to make sure that they're going into your database as well. So it's not just the people that you're already connected with. We want to make sure that you're using LinkedIn as best as possible, not just to sit there when you're looking for a job and reach out and, reach outward to LinkedIn all the time just for those jobs. We want to have a project whereby we're going to all the people in your market on LinkedIn, knowing who they are, and then having mechanisms to bring those people into your own database so that you can email and nurture them over time as well. We're not reliant on LinkedIn sending them those messages, because the people that you're not connected to, they're going to get much less access, much less visibility across your content than the ones that you are as well. So my message here is, just have a think, just ask yourself the question, if LinkedIn closed tomorrow, how vulnerable would my business be and why? And if you can identify what it would do, then let's put steps in place to make sure that you're not exposed and you use LinkedIn for all the good that it gives you and all the revenue that it helps you drive, but you're not being in any way left exposed. That goes for any other tools you're using as well, but today we're talking about LinkedIn. Hope that helps, and have an awesome week.